Today's episode features explicit content involving children that some listeners might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
We like to drink beer, a lot of it. After a long night of drinking and talking crime and conspiracies, there's nothing that wakes us up and gets us ready to start the day better than Just Brew Coffee. With a great selection of roast levels to choose from, you're guaranteed to find one that suits your style. Small batch roasted to highlight the unique features of each coffee bean, Just Brew Coffee caters to both casual and hardcore coffee drinkers alike. Since 2010, Just Brew Coffee has worked tirelessly to perfect the roasting process and technique, which has resulted in seriously delicious, always flavorful, and never bitter tasting coffee. If you're already drinking JBC, raise your mug. If you're not, raise your standards. Check them out in social media and remember, they roast, you just brew. Find them on Twitter and Instagram at Just Brew Coffee and at facebook.com/justbrewcoffee.
Today we're going to talk about Richard Chase, a serial killer who wreaked havoc on California in the 1970s. His fascination with blood led to him earning the nickname the Vampire of Sacramento. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you or your man have erection issues, stick around. We may have an unconventional cure for you. This is Necronomipod.
You've said you had a very definite feeling about Rick Chase.
At the time, I told my immediate and distant superiors that my belief was that Richard Chase now was doing things with small animals and birds, killing them, drinking their blood, and that he would graduate to larger animals and eventually to people, unless his, mental illness was checked, was treated.
All right, Ian. Richard Chase today. Tell us about Dick.
Great segue, buddy. Love it.
We are all ears for Dick.
So Richard Chase, he's a lesser known serial killer, and I think it's because how brutal his crimes were.
Yeah, pretty extreme.
Yeah, I mean there are certain guys like the Toy Box Killer, Leonard Lake, and Charles Ng that people don't really report on them that much,
right,
just because of what they did is so fucked up.
It's too hard to talk about.
Yeah, it's easier to say Ted Bundy killed 30 people.
Right.
John Wayne Gacy killed 30 people,
But there's certain guys that are just off the fucking charts.
Right.
And I think this guy's one of them.
Yeah. Dave, you had not heard of this guy either, right?
I honestly hadn't, and yeah. I'm pretty familiar with a lot of serial killers, and this was a new one on me.
It was a shocking and disturbing learning experience for both of us.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I needed a break after
cool down shower.
Yeah,
yeah,
right in the last bit of this outline. Richard Chase, he was born May 23rd, 1950. By all accounts, he had a normal, loving family. There were no reports of any child abuse or anything like that. The only thing that I found was that his dad could be a little strict at times, but nothing
out of the ordinary.
Nope. It was like a Irish Catholic family.
If you spare the rod, you spoil the child, as I always say.
Is one of your favorite sayings.
But with his childhood, he had the McDonald triad, which is bedwetting, harming animals, and setting fires.
So when you say McDonald triad, like for me, the McDonald triad's 10-piece nugget, McDouble, and a fry. What is that? What is the McDonald triad?
So,
yeah, who came up with that? Who's this McDonald guy?
So the McDonald triad was developed by a psychiatrist named J.M. McDonald in '63. And he found that offenders that were serial offenders had bedwetting issues, harming animals, and setting fires as children. And then the FBI adopted it, which is like the mine hunter guys.
Yeah, right. Those profilers from the early days.
Yeah. So they adopted it, and they found that most of the guys that they interviewed, they all had at least one of them. Most of them did, I guess.
And Richard Chase had all three.
He had all three of them, yeah.
That is wild. How do you think the bedwetting fits into there?
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I see the harming animals and the setting fires.
Right.
It's interesting, bedwetting.
And it's bedwetting like up to like an older child age, right? Like we're talking into like early teens even, right?
Yeah,
Like
you're
beyond.
talking like 10 years old or something where you shouldn't be doing that.
Like, I was drunk a couple years ago and I was peeing on the floor of my bedroom, but I think that was because I drank, 25 beers.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to kill anyone. At least, well, maybe yourself at that point.
Yeah, with the bedwetting, I feel like lying and stealing is more common in these guys than the bedwetting seems to be, because they all do that. Like almost every one of them is a pathological liar and loves to steal shit, but they're not good at it. They always get caught.
Right.
That's interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah. Like Charles Ng is a big one with that when we do an episode on him. That dude just loved to steal everything. He was fucking terrible at it.
Dude, find a new job. You're not good at this one.
Right. So he loved to mutilate animals. That was his thing.
That's not healthy.
Yeah. And so in 1960, his mother first noticed him, or just suspicious. She found a cat buried in with her flower boxes. And then later on, after Richard had been caught, that neighbor recalled a lot of cats going missing while the Chase family lived in the neighborhood. Like 20 years later, you're remember. I mean, that has to be a lot of cats.
Yeah,
Specifically remember that 20 years later.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. So he got caught with when mom found the cat in her garden.
She was suspicious.
Or the flower boxes. She was suspicious, and then he ended up getting caught with that at some point, or it just kind of went. It wasn't discovered till later that this was him doing all of this.
Yeah, it was just not long after it was discovered that he was hurting animals.
So Dick liked to murder all the neighborhood pussy. That is brutal.
Yeah, I was thinking when I was like going through all this stuff, I'm like, that has to be a lot of cats to specifically remember that.
Right. Yeah, remember when I was 10 and like 75 cats from the neighborhood got tortured and killed?
And as a child, as a teenager, he had no issues making friends or dating anyone.
So socially, he was normal.
Yeah, he was fine.
Which is kind of different than other serial killers, right? Or is that not correct?
Like sometimes. Like Ted Bundy was a real sociable, outgoing guy. So a lot of times, though.
I think like a guy like Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy was real sociable. I think with that sociopath, they just like mold themselves. They figure out what works and they just build this persona of what they think people want to see. But the main issue that Richard had with women was that he was impotent.
At a young age, a very young age.
Yeah. And then word had gotten out in around high school, and he was pretty embarrassed about it. Right. Yeah. But that is what caused his obsession with blood, because he learned in high school that you get an erection from blood filling up in your penis.
Penis? Sure. I believe that's the appropriate term.
Yeah.
Dick had dick problems.
And he figured it out that blood causes that, and that just spiraled from there with his obsession with blood.
All these origin stories are always so interesting.
Yeah, there's always something crazy or weird with
something.
Well, let alone the fact that he's mutilating cats and then can't get it up and gets all upset about that.
If you can't beat up the pussy in one way, you find another way to beat up the pussy.
Yeah, but what happens when Dick can't beat Dick? Then what is he supposed to do? He can't. He's a poor guy.
Because schizophrenia shows up between the ages of 16 and through 30, and it shows up earlier for men, so it makes sense that he would start showing some signs of this in high school. He got obsessed with the idea that the reason he couldn't get an erection was because he didn't have enough blood in his body.
And that was probably a schizophrenic thought?
Yeah.
Which
isn't not
like,
a rational thought at all.
It's what?
It's not a rational thought.
No, but for like a schizophrenic thought, that's not that irrational to think. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't think that... Obviously, we know that that's not a rational thought, but I feel like, for his schizophrenic mind, okay, I guess you can make that connection probably pretty easily. Hey, maybe there's not enough blood in my body going to my penis, so this is my problem.
Right. Yeah, I guess so.
It's medically defensible in his mind.
Hell holds more weight than hypnosis.
Oh, boy.
That quickly went into an obsession with drinking blood to get more blood into his body. His first attempt to fix the problem was from a kitten he stole from his girlfriend. And he had just killed it, like slit its throat, and then just straight up drank the blood right from the kitten's throat.
Wow.
So he stole her pussy to get her pussy. All right, that's enough of these pussy jokes. They write themselves, though.
This whole first few pages, then it gets too dark.
Yeah.
Did his girlfriend say anything? Think this was odd? Think this was weird?
Well, he didn't tell her.
She didn't know.
He just stole it.
Oh, that's right. You said she stole it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he just stole it from her.
Do we know all this from his confession later? Is that where we get all this information?
Yeah. Yeah, and then from the book by the Lieutenant Biondi, the one we were talking about before him. Right. Yeah, a lot of this comes from that. Because he never did any interviews or anything. At least not that I could find.
So probably just from the interrogation room?
Yeah.
Okay.
His next attempt at drinking blood from an animal came from a neighborhood dog he had found. He shot it and then tried to collect blood coming out of the bullet holes with Dixie cups. Which,
and then he's just ripping them like shots?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Oh. I don't even like that, like when I cut my lip and have the taste of blood in my mouth.
Right.
I can't even handle that.
Yeah.
Let alone
the neighborhood dog.
Yeah, murdering an animal and then having their blood.
Just drinking its blood.
Yeah, right.
He did go to a psychiatrist around this time because he knew what he was doing wasn't normal. But the main reason he went wasn't like, I'm having these delusional thoughts. It was more, I need you to help my blood problem. Which, you know, they're sitting there listening to this teenage kid sit there and rant about how he doesn't have enough blood in his body.
What was he? Did he mention he was impotent? Because you would think if they could do that, I would imagine they'd be able to at least address that or try to treat that. Well, and I know at times they might not, have had the medicine or the advancements that they've made to do whatever. But was he just simply saying I have a blood problem, or was he open about the impotence?
Well, he was open about the impotence, but he was saying that it was because he didn't have enough blood in his body.
Okay.
So what it sounds like is that the psychiatrist tried to correct the line of thinking and told him a lot of it was because women, or suppression of anger and suppression of anger towards women was the main cause of impotence. And I mean, you're talking about the late 60s too.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't know if they were able to even address that.
And maybe he should go to biology class and learn that maybe a transfusion is better than drinking blood, because it doesn't really work that way.
No.
The only thing he got out of biology was that he knew how an erection worked, and it wasn't working for him.
Yeah. So, and like we were talking before about the lying and stuff, throughout his early adulthood, he showed both of those traits. He was a compulsive liar and loved to steal, and he was terrible at both of them.
So he literally checked off every box of the serial killer, how to find the serial killer handbook.
Yep.
This would have been a half-hour episode of Criminal Minds. This wouldn't even been a full hour. He'd have been real quick.
Right. He attempted to go to community college. He only had like a year or so stint with it. And then he moved out into an apartment in 1970 with two women. One he knew from high school and the other one he had met at the community college.
So he couldn't have been that crazy at this point. He got a couple of ladies to move in with him.
Yeah, I think too, it's the 70s.
Free love.
Yeah. And plus he was like...
Everybody was a little weird.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like kind of a small-time drug dealer at the time. Selling weed and acid, so...
So was he still like in California, Northern California area during all this?
Yeah, this whole thing takes place in Northern California. The women he lived with, they described him as being just a filthy person that refused to take a shower, would never wash his clothes.
Oh, perfect roommate.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Well, and then we were just saying, because of the time period, everybody was a little weird and...
Bunch of dirty frickin' hippies.
Right. So...
Was he still a softie at this point?
Yeah, he never
overcame that obstacle, Dave.
Well, we'll find out. He did eventually, but definitely didn't come from drinking the blood. Yeah, so, and because he was selling drugs, like just kind of dabbling and selling drugs here and there, that's why they kind of put up with him, because he had access to acid and weed.
That'll do it, yeah.
Yeah. So while he was living there, he started taking acid frequently. When you have a mental illness, especially like schizophrenia, that will 100% throw you over.
I would imagine.
Because you're already living life like you're on acid. Yeah. Seeing hallucinations and...
So maybe if he would have got some mental health care and not taken the acid, it would have been we may have never even heard of him.
Yeah, and I don't know what the 70s, what exactly,
Right.
what it was, what the medication was like or anything.
Well, I mean, even today we have a lack of mental health care in this country.
And when he was back seeing the psychiatrist had no clue or no hint that he might have been schizophrenic.
No.
Wow. It's just crazy with all the shit we're about to get into, that there were all these warning signs or chances for people to help, or
Right.
even these cries for help from him, and just nothing.
The roommates recounted a couple incidents with him that led up to eventually moving out. And they said one night that he boarded himself up in his bedroom and then went inside the closet and boarded it up from the inside. And when they asked him why he was doing it, he said that people were sneaking up on me from the inside. Ooh. It's kind of terrifying.
Sneaking up in him from like the inside of him, or like inside of his room?
Inside of his room. That's why he went into the closet and then boarded it up too.
That would be absolutely frightening
Yeah,
to have
that's
visions
terrifying.
or
That's sad.
thoughts of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another time he came out, they said he came out of the room completely naked and sat down on the couch next to them and just started speaking complete nonsense. And back then it probably wasn't really well known, but now that's a sign of schizophrenia and just talking complete nonsense or like a made up language or something. They call it word salad.
Still no boner, right?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Thought maybe he was trying to show off his boner.
Yeah, and they also said like during parties that he would just lay on the floor and kind of wiggle around and moan. So I mean, it's just a ridiculous living situation. Sure. And they were terrified of him, and they didn't want to ask him to leave, so they just packed up one day and left.
They just got out.
Yeah.
They were too afraid to be like, hey, excuse me, you got to get out. Nope,
Talk
it's your
about-
place, bye.
Talk about dodging a bullet, man. Can you imagine their stories later after they read about, what this maniac
yeah.
ends up doing?
Yeah.
I used to live with him every day.
I wouldn't sleep for months. That was me.
I mean, just the whole thing about boarding himself in the room would be a huge
In
red
his
flag.
room, boarding himself in his room, and then boarding himself in the closet.
Right. That would be a huge
I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
While he's locked up in there, let's
Yeah,
get the fuck out.
And around that time, this is when he really started getting into all these medical ailments that he supposedly had. He was saying that his heart would stop beating for a short period of time. His stomach had been turned around backwards, and then he had bones growing out of the back of his head.
There's some pretty specific conditions.
Right.
Especially the bones.
Deadly conditions.
Yeah, the bones one is weird. I was trying to picture like what he would maybe be thinking. Like, was it like
Or feeling. Like,
Yeah.
you would think
Easily
you would just touch the back of
provable,
your
right.
head. Yeah. Or look in a mirror.
Right.
But what was he seeing? What did he think he was touching?
was it like dinosaur like things coming out of the
Yeah,
back of
right.
his
Well,
head, or
that's-
like what
uh-huh.
you know what I mean? Like what kind of bones was he?
I just feel like a femur just coming out of the back of his head. Just like, boom. What was the only bone he can grow? Let him have it.
Oh,
Poor
man.
Richard.
He had no job, no way to pay for this apartment after these girls left, so he had to move back in with his mom. And since they were divorced, he bounced back and forth between his mom and his dad.
And he's college age here, right? Because he had done the community college gig.
Yeah.
So he's early 20s or so.
Yeah, I think he's like 20 at this point.
So he's what? He was born in 50, so we're talking early 70s.
Yeah, so he's 20. And eventually, after they just had enough of dealing with all this weird shit, they sent him out to live with his grandma in Los Angeles. And for a year, he lived a pretty quiet life. Like, there's nothing really
killing
said about it.
animals.
No, well, I'm sure he was probably still killing animals. Seemed like that never ended for him. But, I mean, he didn't do anything crazy outside of that.
He didn't rape and kill grandma, so he's doing all right.
Step one, don't do that.
But this is pretty wild because obviously everybody knows that there's something wrong with him. His grandma got him a job driving mentally handicapped kids to and from school on a bus that she worked for. I mean, I don't think this dude should have been driving himself around, let alone being
kids.
responsible for children.
Driving kids around on a bus.
He was killing animals at this time too, but he was also still saying that people were following him, like just paranoid schizophrenia stuff. So it wasn't.
And he's telling this to people. and no one's able to reach out and help him.
So he's wandering. So basically, what it boils down to is that it was a kind of a quiet year for him, but then it started spiraling to where his grandma couldn't deal with it anymore because he was wandering around her house talking about people following him. He kept talking out loud saying that he was a good boy, talking in third person. Another medical ailment, he got terrified of vitamin D deficiency. So he would take towels and saran wrap, fill them with cut up oranges, and just wrap it around his head and walk around the house talking about people following him.
Is that a thing? Does vitamin osmosis work like that?
I have a vitamin D deficiency. Maybe I should try that.
Yeah.
You knew who had a D deficiency was his girlfriend's. I like this saran wrap vitamin stuff. It's great. Wish there were some pictures of that.
Try it. Maybe end up choking yourself out and suffocating yourself.
Like, can you do that with beer? Can you soak a towel in beer and wrap it around your head?
I think we just came up with a new drinking game. We'll have to try it.
I mean, we saw his pictures. We were texting him back and forth today. Could you imagine this dude just wandering around with the towel on his head filled with oranges, talking like this? And they said, too, because there's no interviews with him to hear his voice, but it said like he had a really high-pitched voice. So this dude
That makes it creepier. Really.
Yeah, he's
in
just
my mind, that's creepy.
Just wandering around with a towel full of oranges.
Just getting some vitamin D, guys.
This is D getting D. We'll tweet out a picture of him, too. We already put out one. We'll put out a few more of him so everyone can see, because he is a creepy-looking guy.
With all the weird behavior at his grandma's, that eventually landed him in the American Rivers Hospital. And there he told doctors that his heart and kidneys had stopped working. His pulmonary artery was stolen. And
Well, that's not easy to do.
Now that is a good thief. We talked about the shitty thieves. You're able to steal someone's pulmonary artery, and that's like Ocean's 11 type shit. Get Clooney in here.
And then he also said that his blood had just stopped flowing through his body completely.
Well, only through one part it stopped. I mean, medically, for real, only one part.
And so at that time, after all this stuff for years, he was finally diagnosed with schizophrenia. And the doctors just explained to his mom that he needed treatment, medication. They said he wasn't a threat to himself or anyone. And they didn't know about the killing of animals.
Nobody did at this point.
I think...
Because this would have been a good time for mom to speak up.
Yeah, so we'll see too. She has like a running thing of denial with this whole thing. But yeah, because I'm pretty sure when he was a kid, they had an issue with him with their pet dog, with him messing with its paws, trying to get blood out of its paws.
Oh, wow.
I think it was fairly well-known fact that he had an issue with this.
And mom kept quiet when the doctor's like, oh, he's not a harm to anybody.
Right, so they let him go. Because she didn't really take it serious, or just was in denial of the situation. Stuff just got worse for him. He thought his mom was poisoning him and was controlling his mind. And he started telling all this stuff to an imaginary friend he had made up. So he would just sit there and gripe about all his problems.
What was the friend's name?
I couldn't find. Huh. Maybe we can dig for that a little deeper.
We'll try to. If we find it, we'll tweet it out or We'll put his picture on Instagram. The imaginary friend. We'll see if we can find that though.
Yeah.
Just tweet out a blank white picture and tell us.
Put a picture of him and be like, here's Richard with his imaginary friend, Paul.
Here's his imaginary friend next to his imaginary boner.
Too soon.
So, I mean, this only lasted for a while. Again, he's bouncing back and forth between his mom and his dad's. They were getting sick of his weird shit again. And so, what better idea than to just get him his own apartment?
Yeah, he's well-adjusted young man. The doctor said he's not a threat to anyone, even though we've seen him try to fucking mutilate the dog. Let's get him his own place.
So he can have free reign to ply his burgeoning trade of...
Just perfect. Let's not help this man. Let's just give him more freedom.
There seems to be a lot of that, a lot of denial and missteps in these stories.
When he had his own place by himself, he spent most of his days riding back and forth from a local rabbit farm where he would take him back to his apartment and butcher him and drink the blood. He would try and drink the blood straight or just eat their insides raw. Oh. Or sometimes he would skin them and just throw the whole thing in a blender and just chug that down.
Rabbit smoothie.
Yeah.
Put a little kale in there to make it taste better.
Kale doesn't have blood, Dave. He's going for blood here.
So I picture him like Wizard of Oz, like the witch riding back and forth to the rabbit farm every day. Do 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 do. Little basket with some rabbits poking their head out,
bobbing back and forth, going real fast. Yeah, all cute little rabbits. Everyone's like, "Oh, hey, Dick. Hi, Dick. How's the weather, Dick? Oh, great day." Meanwhile, he's getting home and there's just blood all over the walls, and he's not bathed and unkept.
There's just rabbit skin like all over the floor. Just a nightmare show.
Yeah, and I didn't put it in the outline too, but he said that he really liked killing rabbits because he viewed them as little machines. Like he didn't view them as actually like an animal. He just viewed them as like a little machine full of blood.
That's a very odd
that was like
statement.
his mind trying to block out what he was actually doing.
No, I don't think so.
Really
I think
do
it
that
was
for other ones, but
I think it's just a delusional thought.
Yeah, I don't know much about schizophrenia, but it seems pretty brutal and tough to.
Yeah, I
function.
mean, I mean, it's pretty rare for a violent schizophrenic.
Yeah.
You know, I think with like this kind of stuff, it gets public. You know, it gets a lot of misinformation.
Sure.
Like it's like a violent thing, but it's rare for somebody to be violent.
And when it goes untreated like this,
Yeah.
it just gets out of control.
But I mean, it's a terrible.
Yeah.
There's a good YouTube video out there too of a psychiatrist made a video of what it would sound like to have the audio hallucinations of a schizophrenic person. It's fucking terrifying. I couldn't imagine walking through life like that, hearing it.
I think I remember you telling me about that once.
It just sounds like 50 people talking at once telling you stuff.
I can't focus when two people talk to me at
Where
once.
did you find that?
It was on YouTube.
Maybe we'll post that out
Yeah.
so people can hear that.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Still no boner at this point, right?
Well, he ditched that idea at this time, and the drinking the blood was now because his heart was shrinking and would disappear if he didn't keep drinking the blood.
That would be unfortunate.
So that was the new idea that he got in his head. So one night, Richard's father came over to visit him because he would come over a lot and play cards with him and like try to spend time with him.
Right.
So obviously he was cleaning up this
Couldn't have been too
massacre,
bad, right.
right, of rabbits to some
hiding it.
degree. But his dad came over, they're playing cards, hanging out, and he noticed that Richard was like just super pale, real sick, and he said that he had food poisoning. But it was real bad, so his dad took him to the hospital, and there they found that he didn't have food poisoning, he had blood poisoning. And he drank blood from a rabbit that he thought had ate battery acid. So to clean that out, he needed to inject blood from another rabbit to clear it out.
Wait, inject? So he actually injected
He
it?
injected
Inject.
it this
He's getting
time.
closer, I guess.
This is the one and only time that he injected it, and he
Interesting.
got blood poisoning.
Which that's interesting that he even did that. Like in his mind, why would he not just drink more pure rabbit blood, not battery acid infected? That he injected it.
It's just complete irrational
Well,
thinking.
look where that got him. Lesson learned: don't inject, just keep drinking it.
Yeah, because when I was reading a lot of this stuff, I'm like, you would think you would get sick from this shit, you know, just
Right.
drinking blood constantly,
or
but
ripping them open and eating their insides just raw.
Oh, I like raw meat.
No.
but like their lungs and all their organs.
I don't like the organ
It was
meat
just
raw
a-
necessarily.
Yeah,
Liver sushi.
So after this rabbit blood injecting incident, that finally landed him into a mental institution to be committed. But he ran out the front door 2 days later.
So, two questions on that. When his dad takes him to the hospital, then Richard tells the doctor exactly what he did with the battery acid injecting, and that's when like, okay,
You're going to stay a while,
Yeah.
fella.
Yeah.
so we're just gonna send you to a mental hospital where you can easily walk out the front door after 2 days.
Yeah, it didn't sound like the best security system going on there because he just took off and just ran right out the front door.
That's always great.
But they eventually caught him and transferred him to a more secure place.
There you go.
And he earned the nickname Dracula there because the only time he would talk to anybody, he only talked about blood. It's the only thing he would ever talk about. So on September 1976, against strong disapproval from everyone in the hospital except for his doctor, for whatever reason, he was let go.
His doctor felt he was good to go.
Yep.
How long had he been in there? Not long enough, clearly.
No. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know for sure, but it was not very long. This was quoted in his release that Richard had developed good socialization and had a realistic view of his problems.
Which we kind of hinted at before, or you mentioned, he knew what he was doing to like the cats was not okay and not right when he went to go see the psychiatrist, correct?
You would assume, because
Like
he kept that detail out of what he was talking. You know what I mean?
That's right. Okay.
I mean, there's hints at stuff throughout this story that make it seem like he knows some form of right and wrong.
Enough to fool the doctor.
Yeah. Or it's just coincidence that his irrational thinking, he left out certain things, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder what the doctor had to say, you know, later on after his
Oops.
crime spree.
Yeah, I mean...
It's my bad. That one's on me.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that a dude that just sat there and talked about blood nonstop, I don't understand where you would get the idea that he had a realistic view of his problems.
Right.
Yeah, and had good socialization. Right. The guy won't talk unless you're fucking talking about blood. Right. Oh, he's great. His socialization skills are par.
So he was released into the care of his mother again. When he got home, she weaned him off his medicine and said he didn't need it.
Oh, Mom is just grade A and all
thanks,
of
Mom.
this. Yeah, she's just fantastic for him.
And she didn't like it because it made him into a zombie, which
would have been good, I think.
Unfortunately, sometimes
you
need to be made into a zombie.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's an unfortunate side effect, but it's better than the alternative.
Yeah. And so again, in 76, his parents got sick of his weird shit and bought him another apartment. And so at this time, he's off his medication. There's no treatment. And they don't really check on him at all.
We're back to square one. We've accomplished nothing.
Right.
With the little medical treatment that he's had in the hospitals, we're now back to square one.
Right.
Thanks, Mom.
On the loose.
Yeah, 100% on the loose at this point. So this will get us to where he first gets in trouble with the law to some degree. On August 3rd, 1977, police were called out to the Walker River Reservation in Nevada to check out an abandoned car. Inside, they found a loaded .30-30 rifle and a loaded .22 rifle, both stained with blood. Next to the guns was a pair of blood-soaked tennis shoes and blood-soaked clothes. And on the floor, there was a bucket with a liver sitting inside of it with a bunch of fresh blood.
Okay, so nothing out of place yet.
Nothing to see
It's
here.
a little camping trip, maybe.
Using binoculars, they spotted Richard about a half mile away, completely naked, sitting perched on like a large rock.
Like just perched there like an owl
Yeah,
or like an
just-
eagle.
Boner? No boner?
No, still no.
Remember, we're past his obsession with that now. Now it's his
I
heart.
thought maybe I fixed him, though. He stopped thinking about it. Maybe it finally
It's
happened
true.
for him.
When you stop worrying about it.
So they approached him, and when they got up to him, he had blood smeared all over his face, his chest, and he had just straight up poured it in both of his ears. So this is just like draining out of his ears. And when they asked him where the blood came from, he said, "It's seeping from me." And he was taken back into questioning. They found out that the blood and liver came from a cow. And
They're like, oh, you're fine.
yeah, well, this wasn't
Bye.
this wasn't a normal police department either. This was in the Indian reservations police. This was their own thing they had going on.
They wanted him the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's what happened then, yeah.
yeah. They weren't dealing with that shit. They were just like, the fuck out. And I saw the specific name for what the Native American police were called, but I can't remember what it was. But that's what it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's seeping from me. Well, that's a pretty fucked up answer.
And then you think the high pitched voice that
Oh, yeah.
they said he had.
I wish there was a recording of it. I want to hear that.
He's just got blood draining out of his ears from him pouring it in there.
We don't have any quotes, or we could do like a theatrical reenactment. It's seeping out of my ears. I don't know where it's coming from.
Maybe you should just freestyle it.
My heart's sinking and my penis won't get hard. Don't have enough blood.
Shortly after this stuff, it just keeps getting worse for Richard. He showed up to his mom's house and grabbed their pet cat, shot it in the head, and then started rubbing its blood all over his face and right in front of his mom.
Mom's just sitting there watching this.
Yeah. So he just kills the cat and just starts rubbing its blood all over his own face.
Look at me, mommy.
What does mom do?
Well, she told his father about it, but she kept out the part about him rubbing the blood on his face.
Why? Again, in denial? In
Yeah,
denial
or
of what
just-
she saw?
Right, maybe not wanting him to get committed again. I don't know.
And they didn't think just picking up a cat and blasting its head off was anything out of the ordinary. Like, oh, we'll leave out the part about him rubbing the blood. The fact that he brutally murders a cat, not a big deal. Don't get me wrong, I fucking hate cats. But it's still not normal behavior.
No.
Anti-feline bastard.
I hate them. Terrified of those little fucks.
They decide, and so instead of getting him any help or saying, hey, he just fucking killed this cat in front of us and smeared its blood everywhere, instead of, calling anybody or doing anything, they just said, you're not allowed coming around here anymore. We'll still pay for your apartment, but you're not coming here anymore. You're done.
Keep that shit at home, Dick.
And so this starts getting him to the ramp up phase of a serial
I
killer.
bet, yeah.
He starts giving himself a little allowances at a time. He's just like ramping up that behavior that'll eventually lead to him killing somebody. So like the allowances he was giving himself, he started following people, looking through windows. The thing to keep in mind too with this ramping up is he does this all in about a month. You know what I mean? Like he takes like normal serial killers,
Right.
or it takes like months or years to
little more
do
cerebral
this
about
stuff.
things.
He ramps up within a
ready to go.
month.
Today's episode of Necronomipod is brought to you by Beardology. There are a lot of imitators out there, but there's only one place I buy my beard oil. Beardology beard oil nourishes your skin and won't leave you with that greasy feel. With over 17 cents available in their extensive product line, I trust my beard to Beardology. You can find Beardology at beardology.co. Use code NECRO15 to receive 15% off your purchase. Beardology. Discover the best way to avoid the shave.
On December 27th, 1977, a woman named Dorothy Polinsky was doing her dishes around 6:30 p.m. and she heard a sharp pop and glass shatter. And she said she felt a streak of heat go across the top of her head, and it was a bullet that had gone through the bun in her hair that she was wearing. And then it hit,
just missed killing her.
yeah, and it was a .22, and it would later be linked to the gun that he had been using.
Dumb luck.
And he just took off after that? Like when he missed or something, he just left the scene?
Yeah. And like I said, it's like these allowance, like you get,
Like pushing, seeing how much he can do, what he can get away with.
right.
I'll just do this. I won't kill her, but I'll just do this, and that'll be enough to satisfy me.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you start, like you said, you start following people, and you're kind of like seeing how you could get away with that.
Right.
And then you start looking in windows. And
Yeah, incrementalism kind of
Yeah.
scenario.
So the next day, on December 28th, not far from his apartment, Richard was driving around and he spotted 51-year-old Ambrose Griffin unloading groceries from the trunk of his car. Richard fired 2 shots from his car, missing one, and the other one hit Ambrose in the chest and killed him.
And just driving by, he saw a guy and was like, oh, let me see what I can do and get away with.
Yep.
Boom, boom.
That's what's so scary about these guys. It's just the randomness of this, you know?
Yeah.
You get up one morning and you're in your driveway and some wacko puts one in your chest.
Yeah.
After he killed Ambrose Griffin, he just went home and watched TV the rest of the day. He just like turned it, like the switch just turned off. He went home and just
He got his fix and now
he just hung
going on.
out.
And that's what he admitted to that? Like that's when he told his story?
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I did.
Yep.
I wonder if he got out of that. He doesn't seem like just a drive-by kind of... Seems like more of a hands-on guy with all the blood work that he had been doing.
Maybe that was just part of him testing. Like,
Yeah.
pick a random person, just kill him, and then just go home,
Right.
and then see how that felt. Now, next time I'll take it a step further. And
Sure. That was great.
Wait, and we'll see too. Like he's like the most extreme definition of a product killer. You know, he just wants the body. There's no, you know, he wants the body. Like process killers like BTK, they get off on the whole torturing aspect. He just wants the body to do what he wants to do with. So I think that's part of the, you know, we'll see that he just wants the whole situation over and done with so he can do what he wants. Between the first kill And when he gets to his second murder, the blood drinking just ramped up big time. And his neighbors in the apartment said they saw him take in 2 dogs and a cat and then never saw him again.
Oh, man. This guy.
And then he started to adopt animals enough that local pet stores and shelters started blacklisted him from adopting any more animals.
Like, how fucked up do you have to be to get banned at the pet store? Jesus.
Do you think like when he came home, like his apartment was like Ace Ventura? Do you remember that scene when he's jiggling the keys to hide from the landlord, and then he opens the apartment and closes the door, and then all these animals start coming out of everywhere? That's what I envision his apartment looking like.
Except they're dead.
Penguins coming out of the freezer, or their bodies in the freezer.
Well, I'm confused as to how many animals they were letting him adopt
before
they banned him.
Right.
Dude, go take care of the ones you already have.
Right.
Like, even if you think the guy's normal, like, dude, you got 4 dogs yesterday. We're not going to give you 5 cats today. Go take care of those puppies.
Got 4 dogs yesterday. So maybe he just shopped around at different stores, and then when he started doing repeat visits.
Oh, he would have loved a Costco like pet store type place, just buy in bulk.
Right.
So leave with like 50 kittens.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was. Maybe the rabbits weren't doing it for him anymore. Like not enough blood, or
Rabbit's a small animal. It's a limited amount of blood, I guess.
So then on January 3rd, 1978, Richard decided it was time to get closer with a human victim. He walked up to a woman named Jean Layton's home and tried opening her patio door. When it was locked, he went to the window. It was locked, so he went around to the back door. She came face to face with him through the window, and she said he just stared at her like completely blank, lit a cigarette, and just walked away through her backyard.
That is one of my fears at night, which is why I always have to have my blinds closed, is that I'm going to look out my window and see someone standing there. Like, that's just, it's terrifying to me.
Well,
that,
you are now that you told us.
Yeah, right. Well, good luck. My blinds are always closed. Like, as soon as the sun starts to go down, boom, blinds closed.
Well, I'll be gently rapping then.
So from there, he just wandered down the street and walked into the unlocked home of Robert and Barbara Edwards. And the locked and unlocked door thing is where he gets, aside from the blood drinking, where he gets the vampire thing. Right. Because he told the FBI profilers that if a door was locked, he wouldn't try and break in because he thought he wasn't welcome. He would only go into unlocked doors.
I learned that on watching True Blood, where they had to invite him in.
Yeah,
they were like stuck outside until they got invited in.
What does that have to do with vampires?
That's like the old myth with vampires, is they can't come in your house unless you let them in.
Yeah, they can't cross the door threshold.
Well, then just don't fucking let them in. Problem solved.
Maybe you don't know they're a
vampire. If a guy with a slick back hair and a cape and fangs comes to my door, I'm not going to let him in the house. Right? I'm alive still.
I mean, you're not wrong.
In theory.
If Dracula shows up, don't let him in, right? And he won't kill you.
What's the one movie? The Let the Wrong One In, or Let the
Right One In?
Yeah, Let the Right One In.
Same thing.
That movie is really good.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Now I'll have to check that out.
That's with the Swedish vampire movie with the little girl that we watched.
We did see this one.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a good movie.
We're in the pool at the end. She chops all their fucking heads
right.
off. One of the greatest endings in a movie ever.
Spoiler alert for those of you listening.
Sorry.
That's old enough.
That's old. If you haven't seen that, then...
Yeah, and fuck you. We're spoiling it.
Rewind and forget what I said.
So the Edwards came home from grocery shopping, and they found Richard just standing in their hallway, and they chased him around the house. He just kept screaming over and over again, "I was only taking a shortcut."
Look, I really didn't want to go around your house. I just needed to cut through. Why are you guys being such bitches about this?
It's like a teen chase movie or something where the cops are chasing and the kid runs through the house.
It's like the scenes in the hall and you see him go in one door and out the other, and then they come out a different door like in the cartoons. Except this is not funny.
He slipped through and ran out the front door, and they found that he had gone into their baby's room and pissed on all the clothes, and then took a shit in the middle of the baby's crib.
This guy's something else.
Yeah,
man.
That's just so random.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't put it in the outline, and I should have. They found a bag of random shit that he was stealing from them. There was like a stethoscope,
From this house?
From this house, yeah. So his intention going into this house was to steal stuff. He didn't seem. I mean, he might have killed somebody if they were there, but his intention was stealing stuff. But it was all random shit.
So he was lying about the shortcut?
Yeah. Yeah, it's safe to assume that he wasn't taking a shortcut.
Well, you said stethoscope. Was he trying to steal like medical things to like help cut people and get their blood, or
I don't know,
get their organs out?
Yeah, there was
like maybe he knew they were physicians, or
I don't know, or maybe he found it and was like, "This is exactly what I need to see if my heart's shrinking or not, or something."
Listen to my heart or his heart.
Pretty much immediately after this whole scenario goes down, he walks to a corner store to get himself an orange soda, which was all he drank other than blood. So, orange soda or blood.
On a hot day, when warm blood's just not going to do it for me, I prefer an ice cold glass of orange soda.
He ran into an old classmate from high school named Nancy Holden, and he just walked right up to her and said, "Were you on the motorcycle when Kurt was killed?"
It's an interesting greeting.
I mean, she did date a guy in high school named Kurt that died on a motorcycle, but she had no fucking idea who Richard was because he looked so different.
Terrifying and upsetting question for her.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you got to think, at this point, he's wearing the bright orange jacket, which we'll get to, but he's wearing that at this point. He's covered in dried blood, which, I mean, you probably wouldn't know it's blood. It's all brown, or so you maybe assume it's dirt or something.
It's been on there forever, so.
Right. Looks fucking disgusting, and he just comes up to you and says, "Hey, were you on that motorcycle when your boyfriend died?"
Do you like orange soda? Do you like orange soda?
I was going to say this. Dave, that tone is not right.
He followed her outside and asked her for a ride, and she was able to start the car and drive away as he was trying to open up her passenger door.
I was going to get real upset if after all that you were like, yeah, so she gave him a ride.
Right.
Fuck that. And who knows, he might have wanted to kill her, or he might have just wanted a ride for real. Who knows?
I would not have taken those chances.
No, absolutely not. You see this maniac in a bright orange jacket covered in fucking dried blood?
Yeah, no thanks.
Maybe he got his boner working. He just wanted some relief.
It's true. Maybe. He was just so proud.
After not getting the ride, Richard started walking again.
Are we getting to the good part here?
Yeah,
I sense a snap coming on with this guy.
Yeah, this
define good part.
Good in quotes.
It's gonna take a turn here. So he started walking, and he found a house that had a blue van parked outside. So he knew someone was home. It wasn't like a break-in like the first one.
Right.
The only explanation that police ever could come up with for why he chose this house, outside of it being completely random, was that he recognized that van from the store earlier, because this woman, Teresa Wallen, visited she was at that store about an hour before.
The randomness of this just kills me.
Yeah, so he might have just been walking down the street, saw that van, and was like,
right.
And with schizophrenia, it's like a lot of not omens, but like signs, kind of like
everything has a meaning.
Yeah, like you see something, you're like, oh, that you know. So he could have just saw this van and be like, boom, this is where I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
So Richard approached the house of Teresa Wallen. He walked up, took out one of the .22 caliber bullets and placed it in her mailbox, and then walked up the driveway.
Very strange to begin with.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There he found Teresa taking out a bag of garbage in the garage. Richard fired 2 shots before she dropped, and then walked up and fired one more 6 inches away from her head into her temple. He picked her up by her shoulders and dragged her body into the master bedroom, leaving a huge trail of blood behind him. He then went into the kitchen, grabbed a knife and an empty yogurt container that he found in the garbage that she was taking out.
That's not very sanitary.
No. I just go to the... If you're going to do all that, is it really a bother to go into the cupboard and grab a cup?
Right. Richard pulled her shirt up, cut off her left nipple, and then he stabbed her so hard in the chest that he split her sternum.
That's not easy to do.
No.
Jesus.
He sliced open her stomach and pulled out all of her intestines. so he could access the rest of her organs. He then started stabbing the organs 8 more times, so hard that the knife came out of her back.
Oh, God.
He left the kidneys completely alone. That was the only organ he didn't touch.
Why?
Who knows?
That's an extreme level of brutality here.
He used the yogurt cup to get blood from her open stomach area.
Is that why he was stabbing all the organs, just to try to draw as much blood as possible?
I don't know. So yeah, he used the yogurt cup to get blood from that wound and drank it. He went into the bathroom with the yogurt cup and smeared blood on his face and hands. And then finally, the whole thing's rough, but this is just another level. He went outside and grabbed dog feces and came back in and put them in Teresa's mouth.
Like, that seems...
What's that? That's an extra odd step.
Right.
Seems out of place.
Like, I don't know, like almost like he had disdain for her or something. Like, why would you do something like that, like extra at the end?
Yeah.
I don't, that doesn't make sense. They never explained any rationale to that.
The only thing that I read, it could be like with the, like when he took a shit in the baby's crib,
yeah.
it was like kind of like a power thing.
Was it like almost like his calling card?
No, like he's degrading the situation. You know, it's like, this is something someone values and I shit on it. That's what I had read. One explanation for it, possibly.
I do value my mouth. I don't want shit on it.
No.
This is horrific.
No.
The other terrible part with her is that the autopsy found that she was 6 weeks pregnant.
Ugh.
Fuck that.
So...
I don't have any jokes because there's no...
No. It's fucking disgusting.
Awful.
So, and the only leads the police had were shoe prints in her blood, the .22 caliber bullets, and rings made from a bucket or a pan on the floor. And it's safe to assume that he got that bucket from the house, because you would think that his classmate that saw him at the store probably would have remembered that he was walking around with a bucket or something, you
probably.
know, because he went right from that store
And he
to
didn't have
go
his car
do
with
this.
him, so yeah.
Right. Serial murders are random. They really didn't have any leads to go off of. So Richard ended up killing 4 more people on January 27th, 1978. And it's not clear if he was casing houses or just acting on, like a schizophrenic impulse. On January 24th, 78, he started going door to door and asking people for old magazines.
So now we're talking now before he kills those other 4 people.
3 days before.
This is prior to that. He's now going door to door doing the magazine gimmick.
Doing some lead work, right?
Yeah, and they don't know if he was casing or if he was just random nonsense, just looking for old magazines for whatever reason. He was looking for Mad magazines and Cosmo magazines.
I wonder if there's any rhyme or reason
Interesting
to that.
combo.
I used to read Mad Magazine. That was a good magazine back in the day. Can't say I ever really read Cosmo.
I was saying maybe he's looking for like blood sex tips in Cosmo.
Well, I was waiting for the sex joke in Cosmo.
Yeah, how to...
Because what kind of magazine is it? A sex magazine?
Yeah, the Cosmopolitan, right?
Yeah. I don't buy one unless Olivia Wilde's on the cover.
Nice.
Stealing Dave's gimmick. I personally wouldn't. I'd buy it if it was Britney Spears, but not Olivia Wilde. So it's and this is a terrible time to get off subject. I understand that. Cosmo is like I thought it was always just like a girl, like fashion makeup type.
Yeah,
magazine.
like eight ways to give your man the best orgasm. On that
well,
kind of stuff.
not Dick. 8 ways to help him get it up would be a start for him. But okay, so I wonder if there's any rhyme or reason to why he's asking for like Mad and Cosmo. Like, if it's Cosmo, maybe there's going to be a certain females in the house that are attracted to him.
Can I just throw in, like, if Britney was on the cover of Cosmo, they'd have like eight ways for no talent hacks to take money from their audience without actually singing.
I don't believe that. I believe she's one of the best selling solo female artists of all time. Not everybody in the world can be wrong, Dave.
The next day, January 25th, a couple called the police after they found that their lab puppy was found shot and then its stomach ripped open.
That's the worst part of this story yet.
All the puppies he was killing.
Yeah, that's sickening.
Jeez.
The police asked them if they had seen any strange people around, and they, of course, said there's this filthy dude wearing an orange jacket walking around asking for magazines, and then he also came to them earlier looking to buy puppies from them because they had a whole litter, and they turned him away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not covering his tracks at all.
No, not even a little bit.
We cover this. Remember, he's a terrible criminal. He can't lie. He can't steal.
He can't get away with anything.
Lieutenant Ray Biondi, he's acting on a hunch from other people hearing about this guy walking around looking for magazines. He ordered an autopsy on the puppy and found fragments of a .22 bullet. So it wasn't enough to match the bullet with Wallen's murder, but it was a start. And this dude is like super cop, from a movie. Right. The amount of work he put into this and going off it, it's crazy. I mean, who would ever thought to order an autopsy on a puppy?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
So with this far enough, we finally got a hero of the story.
Yeah.
Finally, someone we can cheer for.
Well,
yeah.
And ultimately, he writes the book on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not really known what Richard was up to between killing the puppy on January 25th and what he's about to do on January 27th. I think it's just safe to say he was probably hanging out at home.
He had stopped for those 2 days. Like he took the 26th off. Wasn't.
Yeah, he's probably just
hunting.
Nope.
So to speak.
Hey, today's January 25th as we're recording this.
Oh yeah.
How about that?
That's pretty creepy. I don't love this one bit.
Wait till you see someone rapping at your window later tonight.
It's going to be shut. The blinds will be shut. So have at it.
In an ICP mask.
If you're a juggalo, come on in. Turn up the music and drink some Faygo.
January 27th, Evelyn Miroth was at home. She was a 38-year-old single mother who lived with her son Vernon, 13, and Jason, 6. On that day, she was at home with her son Jason and her sister-in-law's 20-month-old baby boy. She had made plans with a neighbor to have Jason go on a little day trip to a mountain area to go play in the snow. At 9:05 a.m., her friend Danny Meredith came over, and Evelyn asked him to go back out and rent snow boots for Jason to go on the trip. After Danny left, Richard then entered the home through an unlocked back door and went to the bathroom where Evelyn was taking a bath, and he immediately shot her in the head, killing her instantly. He then dragged her body out of the bathroom and laid her on the bed. It's assumed that the 6-year-old just heard the gunshot and came in to see what was going on. It's not really known how it exactly went down.
Right.
But there, Richard shot him twice in the head.
And the 6-year-old wasn't even supposed to be in the house, right? He was getting ready to go on his play date.
Right. He walked into the kitchen to get a knife to do the same thing he had done to Teresa Wallen. And while he was in the kitchen, he heard Danny Meredith come back with the snow boots. Richard surprised him in the hallway and shot him directly in the forehead at close range. And then Richard heard a baby crying. So he went into the bedroom where the baby was in his crib and shot him once in the head at close range.
Where was the baby's mom, the sister-in-law?
It's not really said.
Sounds like she was babysitting.
Yeah, she was just babysitting.
Where's her other kid, Vernon, the 13-year-old? He must have survived. Doesn't sound like he was home.
I don't know. He must. Yeah, I don't really know. And they don't really say much about the baby. I'm pretty sure I couldn't find the baby's name anywhere. It seemed like they kept the baby's name
That's probably
out of all the stuff. Yeah.
That's some heavy fucked up shit.
Yeah. So Richard went back to the main bedroom with 2 carving knives and did the same ritual to Evelyn that he did to Teresa. However, this time he just cut out a part of her liver and ate it. And for whatever reason, with this one too, he left the kidneys completely alone. And so
he just had no use for kidneys, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with the kidneys. He rolled her over, stabbed her in her anus 5 times, and this is where he finally was able to get hard, because then he sodomized her.
Oh my God.
Okay. So that's
the one time he was able to get hard.
And it was just because he was sexually aroused by doing this.
Yeah.
Like he was getting off.
Finally found his thing.
Yeah,
right?
that was his thing, is mutilating this corpse. Is that why he started doing the random things, like stabbing her in the ass and cutting out her eye? Like, because that was getting him off? Because that didn't necessarily fit the theme of him eating organs and drinking blood. Like, that's kind of something different. He was just really, like, I guess, finding what he was kind of into sexually.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
As messed up as that is.
Well, and the whole story's subject to what he ultimately ended up telling the cops anyway. So who knows if he was 100% truthful, 50%.
Yeah,
truthful. You're never really gonna get the whole story,
right?
Trying to say Lieutenant Biondi didn't get the whole story, Dave? Are you questioning his police work?
I absolutely am not.
So after that, he rolled her back over, slit her throat, and cut out one of her eyes. And then, just like he did with Teresa, he gathered as much blood as he could in a bucket. And then he went and got the baby's body and took it into the bathroom. He split the baby's head open and dumped part of his brain into the bathtub. And then, so suddenly he heard someone knock on the door, and the family across the street that was supposed to take her son Jason on the trip was, waiting on him. So the mother sent her daughter over to see what, what was going on.
Oh my God.
So thankfully Richard did not open the door and just waited for her to leave.
Yeah.
And then he took Danny Meredith's keys, the bucket of blood, and the baby's body, and just took off.
And left the scene.
Yep. And the crime scene was discovered 30 minutes later when a worried neighbor went in through the back door and found everything.
I mean, can you imagine walking in there and finding that crime scene?
I could not.
Holy
shit. Like the smell, the scene, seeing destroyed, your neighbor's body destroyed and mutilated. No.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Yeah, it's a rough sequence of events.
I mean, it's one of the worst things I've ever heard.
Oh, absolutely.
So police, they knew immediately that whoever did this was the one who murdered Teresa Wallen.
Sure, at this point.
Yeah. So Biondi, he tried using a psychological profiling technique that he learned from an FBI seminar a few months earlier. And using this method, he came to the conclusion that because no one reported any minorities in the area at the time, the offender was white. It's racist.
Of course.
But
well, that's how it is, though.
But the times.
Absolutely.
In a upscale white neighborhood.
Right.
Is it crazy that or weird that when I think of Lieutenant Biondi, I just keep thinking of Joe from Family Guy? You know, the neighbor who's the cop. That is what I think of when I'm thinking of Ray Biondi. Because Joe's like a super cop. Like he's really good at his job. He's, that's what I think of. I don't know if Ray Biondi's in a wheelchair or not, but at least Joe from Family Guy is.
And then two, he was probably schizophrenic because the crimes were disorganized and occurred during the day with no attempt to cover them up or worrying about witnesses.
Right. At all.
Yeah. The person who did this was probably a loner without a romantic relationship or a job. Whoever did it had bad social skills because he figured there was probably no talking involved with the crimes because they happened quickly. So he didn't go in there and say like, okay, you go sit down, and hold. He just bam,
he's not smooth talking people to let him into the house.
But
he's going full force.
That doctor said he had great socialization skills.
The doctor maybe needs to reassess his evaluation.
Yeah, that doctor
at this
really.
point.
I think a lot of people in this story need to reassess.
Yeah, there's a lot of messed ups here.
Yeah.
So then Biondi did kind of pinpoint him exactly.
Yeah.
When he profiled who they were looking for.
Right.
Like you couldn't have done a better job.
Yeah, and the fifth conclusion he came to is that the person who did this was probably let go from a mental institution recently and was new to the area because the crimes happened in such a close area proximity. So, I mean, that really does nail it down to
Spot
a T.
on, yeah.
I mean, he was
good work.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like super cop.
Yeah,
I love that FBI profiling stuff. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
If you've never seen the Mindhunter show on Netflix,
I have not.
It goes into the early days of the FBI, serial killer profiler stuff.
Yeah.
It's
you might have missed your calling in life, Dave.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, and then Biondi's his profile is still considered as like the gold standard by the FBI for a disorganized serial killer.
Which is crazy given this was 40 some years ago and the amount of technology and everything that's changed since.
Yeah.
Yet he's still the gold standard for what to
for
do.
that psychological profile.
That's interesting. I'm really fascinated to check out his book actually.
He's got a couple of them because he was involved in a later, I believe, famous.
Because when he
murder.
was involved in this, he was really kind of fresh to being a lieutenant.
Right.
He wasn't a lieutenant for very long. when he got this. A lot of the cops.
He probably wasn't lieutenant long. They probably promoted him again after this. I don't know what the next level up is. Captain or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think sergeant, then captain.
That makes sense. Somebody will correct us if we're wrong. Correct us if we're wrong.
So police canvassed the area looking, and they were able to come up with a sketch of Richard. And because of the time period, there were a lot of skinny white guys, hippie, walking around. So it really didn't help them that much.
Do you think it creeped the sketch artist out having to draw dick? All right, I'm done with the dick jokes.
So his high school classmate, Nancy Holden, that he ran into at the store and got in that weird conversation about her boyfriend on the motorcycle, she talked to her father-in-law, who's a police officer, after seeing the sketch and saying, this dude I went to high school.
Right.
Finally, another rational human being who speaks up when she thinks something's off.
I have a pretty good idea who we're looking for here.
This fucking maniac in a bright orange jacket.
Right.
So Biondi started looking into Richard. I mean, the profile fit.
Sure.
And he started digging in more, too, and came up with the whole incident at the Indian reservation and the mental institution stuff. So he found out where Richard was living and knocked on the door, but Richard wouldn't answer. And they could hear him in there, so they full on knew he was in there. So they just made a big show of it that they were leaving. So stomping down the stairs, all right, Richard.
You mean like you would do with your child at when they're 5 or 6 years old? Okay, I'm leaving.
Right.
You're not gonna see me outside the door anymore.
And it worked, because they waited outside around the corner, and shortly after he came out carrying a cardboard box, and when they approached him, he threw the box at them, and just little shards of paper covered in blood just went flying everywhere. That's all that was in the box.
Given the story, I'm glad it was just paper that came out of the box.
Yeah, no shit.
He took off, and they had a big struggle. I know in the book they say that another officer came around the corner and hit him with the butt of his gun and knocked him down. He actually thought he killed him at first.
On the streets, they call it a pistol whip.
And thank you.
That's where I come from.
And he thought he killed him at first, but then Richard started fighting again, and it took him a while to actually get the cuffs on him.
Really?
Yeah. And
you think he was screaming with that high-pitched voice the whole time?
probably.
Get off me! Leave me alone!
Well, the thing, too, is he was armed. Richard had his
that's
22
right.
on
Yeah.
him. He had that on him at all times. So the cops could have easily killed him.
Sure.
But like I said, they were really, kind of super cops in this whole thing and doing.
Well, it's interesting
Doing
that
their
he
job.
never tried to pull out his gun.
He was trying to.
Oh, he was
That's
trying.
what they said.
That's
He
what
was
the
trying
Come
to.
on, guys, the BB gun.
So they got him into custody. On his person, he had Danny Meredith's wallet, his 22, and they also, this is super creepy, he took pictures of Evelyn and Jason Miroth and had the woman and her son that he had killed.
He just had photos of their bodies.
Yeah, he took them. No, pictures of them from the house.
Oh.
Before he left with the babies.
Like he stole their personal pictures. They
Right.
had up.
Yeah. So before he left with the baby's body. And
How many
stuff.
days later is this? After that after the last murder, or is it the same day? Did all this happen that quick?
He was arrested the same day.
Oh, so they were on his trail.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a mess, and he didn't really cover his tracks at all.
Right. Yeah, they got on. They took care of this pretty quick.
Lucky for Sacramento.
Yeah.
Jesus.
When police, they got a warrant for his apartment to go in and search it. They just found everything was covered in either dry or fresh blood, even down to a soaked French bread that was sitting next to a sleeping bag. They were all soaked, and everything was just
like
soaked.
a French bread.
Yeah, like a loaf of bread.
baguette?
A baguette just
soaked
soaked in blood.
Do we have an inventory list like we had at Ed Gein's house?
No. Aside from the
If we're fortunate
bread,
enough to find a picture of this French bread, we'll post that. I don't know if there's going to be many photos of that.
in his refrigerator, they found animal limbs on plates and human brain tissue stored in a plastic container. They never found the baby's body, or it's never said exactly what he did. So
Horrific.
who knows? They also found tons of anatomy books, health magazines, and a spiral notebook. In the notebook, they found a bunch of like nonsensical notes, like pretty much like the word salad stuff just written down.
Like word salad just in there.
They found tons of drawings of guns and swastikas. And Richard, he was really obsessed with Nazis, with the idea that they were coming for him and that they were working with UFOs.
It always goes back to the Nazis, man.
I mean, he's not far off from Nazi and UFO conspiracies, but yeah.
But that's another show.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother discussion and debate.
And this is really scary. They found a calendar that had, on the dates that he actually committed the murders, the word today was written on them. And he had written the word today on 44 other dates coming up in the year.
His kill days.
Yeah.
I mean, so if he had been a little more careful and not acted so erratically, I mean, traditionally random murders like that are hard to solve because there's not really motives or... So if you cover your tracks, I mean, you can go for a long time.
Right.
Well, and this one just goes back to that simple convenience store run-in with his high school friend.
Yeah.
Had he not done that, she would have never recognized him in that photo.
Right.
And they who knows? He might have got all 44 kills.
Right. Richard's insanity defense was denied when he went to trial, and it was because he had worn gloves to the murders. He hid Danny Meredith's car, and then he hid his own car. So he showed some sense of trying to
knowing what he was doing,
to get away with what he was doing.
Yeah.
And like you said, brought up earlier with the animals, he didn't bring it up because I think, he knew he was doing something wrong.
He could tell, that it wasn't okay to be doing this.
Right.
But if this guy's not insane, then who is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And insanity defense is really hard to get.
It is, sure.
Ed Gein's the only one I can think of that got it. Out of
all the famous serial killers.
Even Jeffrey Dahmer didn't get it.
Yeah.
But he really knew right from wrong. I mean, he kind of came out and admitted.
Yeah, in those interviews later.
Yeah, he's really honest about stuff, so he's not really a good example. But.
Side note for our fans, Jeffrey Dahmer's first kill, about 15 minutes from our studio.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That'll be a fun episode one day.
Might do it on site.
Hell yeah.
Mobile broadcast. Not sure the new owners of the house would appreciate it, but...
We'll let them be guests on this award-winning podcast.
There's probably all kind of people that go to that house. And
probably all the time.
It's probably annoying as fuck for whoever lives there.
No wonder why this house was so cheap.
It's right by LeBron's house, too, so we'll stop over there for a cool-down beer after.
Hey, LeBron, don't mind us. We'll hang out in one of these back rooms that you probably didn't even know you had in this house.
So on May 8th, 1978, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. I mean, and because, it's well known that people who kill children or child molesters in prison don't have it the easiest. They're singled out pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah.
The inmates would constantly piss in cups and pass it down and get it to the guy closest to him and throw it on him.
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, they would constantly do it to him.
I mean, I knew that pedophiles and shit were picked on and got their asses kicked. I never heard of this, past the
I haven't
piss cup
either.
game.
Never.
Well, I think
it's interesting.
The only thing I can assume is because death row, they only get out for an hour a day usually.
Yeah.
So they're in there all the time. So how else are you gonna fuck with them? I guess.
Where's death row? It's San Quentin in California.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, and you said he was sentenced to death then? So that's what he was on?
Yeah.
He was on death row. Okay.
So I picture it as like death rows I've seen in documentaries and stuff. It's just like a hallway of cells, and they only get out like an hour or so a day. Yeah. So there's no way to really
time to kick his ass.
Right. So just pass a jar of piss down the hall and throw it on.
It's a pretty good idea, I guess. I've
Are they
never
all
heard of
pissing
it.
in it as it comes to them?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
It's a big jar.
Yeah, it was a decent size. They would just throw it on him.
Well, he deserved it.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I'm not even a big proponent of the death penalty, but then you hear stories like this, and you're like, you know what? Sometimes this world might be better with these people not in it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about the death penalty because there's obviously people that are innocent that have gotten sentenced to death over years.
And it's not applied evenly. It's just
But I mean,
not to get on a political rabbit hole.
Right. Yeah. Another thing that they did constantly was they encouraged him to kill himself. And so finally on December 25th, 1980, after just, like I said, constant encouragement from his fellow prisoners, he hoarded a ton of his psych medication and took it all at once and killed himself.
Merry Christmas, motherfuckers!
I'll show you. And that's that. Finally, the son of a bitch is dead.
Oof, that guy's something else, man. That's
He's quite the story.
wow.
Well, Ian, thanks for fucking being a buzzkill tonight. That was an awful story.
There's a lack of comedy in this episode because there's not much.
Well, it's hard to make jokes about some of this shit. And that's even coming from a cat hater like me. I still can pull it off.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, if somebody would have done something more, if his mom wouldn't have ignored things, or he should not have ever been walking around.
No.
Or maybe he could have if he was on medication. Who knows? But, the ball was dropped.
Gave him a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have the opportunity. Mom just cut him off and denied him having any issues, even with that whole shooting the cat in the head and smearing blood all over himself.
Yep. So that's all I got for Richard Chase.
That is an absolutely horrific story.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Now I have to go to Mike's house in an ICP mask and knock on the window.
You come with an ICP mask and we'll hang out and party. I can't be the only one that would be afraid at night of someone looking in their windows. I mean, that can't be that. That's not irrational.
Have you ever seen Salem's Lot, the original Salem's Lot
not.
from the 70s?
No.
Terrified me.
I'm not going to watch that then.
The kid, Danny Glick, he floated up to the window and was just scratching at the window, trying to get
terrifying.
in. Terrifying.
I mean, yeah, I would not be a fan of it.
Well, sure, that's what I'm saying.
I would not be a fan of it.
All right, Ian, anything else with this one?
Nope. I'm good on Richard Chase.
Dave, anything you got to add about old Dick Chase?
No, I'm at a loss for words with this fucking guy.
Maybe we'll come up
This
with
is awful.
Something a little fun for next week.
Something not so dark, at least.
A little like palate cleanser or something.
We'll find something that maybe we all disagree on and just have an argument about something.
Sounds good.
That's always fun.
All right, well, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We are at Necronomipod. Leave us any comments you might have, any feedback's really appreciated. We love to have interactions with everybody, so please hit us up. Let us know what you think. Also, follow us or subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. Rate and review us. If you want to leave a review, some comments, that would be awesome, and we'd really appreciate it. Tell your friends, spread the word. You can retweet us. That would be fantastic. It's been a great first few weeks for this podcast. We want to keep the momentum going. We do intend to provide an episode every week to you, and any support we can get, we would love. You guys got anything else?
I'm good.
You ready for a cold on beer?
Let's do it.
Yep.